Let's get these hazards out of the way. The coffee box, whatever. There's a Pringles can here. Oh, that's a good video.
I am Dr. Dex, not a real doctor. Just roll with it, okay? Today we're playing a childhood favorite of mine, Fable, The Lost Chapters. This classic RPG by Peter Molyneux was my introduction to the RPG genre, so I thought it would be fun to show you all how to exploit the hell out of it. Because this game is broken in all of the right ways. You know, the fun kind of broken, like Willy Wonka and MDMA. Anywho, I'm gonna show you 3 different ways to make infinite money in Fable, which may or may not involve some light prostitution and a slight chance of dismantling an entire economy with nothing but apple pie. How's that for a hook, Carol? Could you stop pointing that gun at me? Oh right, before we get started, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. Also, it's my birthday today, so it would be nice if you left a comment. Anywho, you are here for some of that sweet Fable gold. Well, I've got you covered. Sit back, relax, and watch the virtual money roll in. Method 1. Prostitution. Alright, for our first source of infinite money, we're going back to the classics. The world's oldest profession, as they say. We're talking good old prostitution. Now, you might be very familiar with Fable and yet be completely unaware of this feature, but yes, Fable The Lost Chapters allows the player to become a trans prostitute. This game suddenly seems very woke for 2005. Becoming a prostitute was probably the last thing I expected, revisiting a game from my childhood. But when that offer came up, I just couldn't stop myself from smiling. What an absolutely perfect surprise. But how does one become a working girl in Fable The Lost Chapters? Well, I ironically stumbled into this dick first. You see, unlike the sequels, the first Fable game doesn't allow you to pick a gender, which is a shame, but I'm a stubborn bitch. So I picked the prettiest dress and went on my merry way, telling the NPCs calling me out to kiss my ass and taking the whole thing in my stride. Fuck the haters, I'm fabulous. There's only one thing missing, a wig, of which there is only one in the game. You can find it at the local whorehouse, which is where it all came together. Alright, so let's run through what you need to do. You know, like a real guide. Start the game, live out your childhood, see it all burn to the ground, and join Hogwarts for heroes. A hero doesn't have to be heroic though, not by this guild standards at least. Graduate from hero school and kill a big wasp. Do a bunch of menial quests until you can escort a bunch of traders back to your hometown. Mind the werewolves though. I know they're called Balverines, you big nerd. On your way back to your childhood home, you might have noticed a big old door near the camp. Well, that's the brothel. But we need to visit Oakville first before it opens up. Trust me, I've tried glitching through the door, it doesn't work. While you can physically get behind the door, you can't trigger the warp just yet. So tough, get your lazy ass to Oakville. Mind the troll though. That's just what it's called. While you're in Oakville, shake off the PTSD and buy one of 3 fancy dresses. They come pretty cheap, so see it as a good investment. Now the bordello is open for business, and soon so will we. The trigger for opening the bordello is completing the trader escort quest, so while you can run straight home after graduation, the bordello will remain closed. This means the Wasp Menace, Orchard Farm, and trader escort quests are mandatory for this method. Trust me, I found out the hard way, so you don't have to. After a neat little introduction to the Darkwood Bordello by the madam that has this whole faded glory burlesque vibe going, we are free to meet the folks that run the only brothel on the continent. Just don't think about the logistics of that too much. There's the owner, who looks and sounds like a registered sex offender. His name is Mr. Rope. If the joke wasn't subtle enough, he also treats the ladies like garbage, so a lovely man all round. Now let's check out our future co-workers or competition depending on how you look at it. We've got quite a colorful cast of sex worker stereotypes. We've got Young Spice, Exotic Spice, Rich Spice, Kinky Spice, and Old Spice. Not that.
I'm on a horse.
There's a whole quest going on here which I'm not gonna spoil for you. We're here for the money, remember? Keep your eyes on the prize. We need that red wig. So the wig we need is upstairs in a wardrobe, but we are not allowed to go up there. There are several ways of going about this, but I just paid this lady to take my virginity, so I could take the only wig in all of Albion. We should get some practice in anyway before committing to the job. Though it's a bit unsanitary that they only have one available bed. Again, try not to think about the logistics behind that. Ew. Now we have our red wig and we can talk to the madam. And seeing the spitting image of her younger self, she hires you on the spot. The choice is up to you, of course, but how can you resist such an opportunity? Now, all we have to do is find a few willing customers who aren't afraid of a ride on the wild side. You will have to put up with a lot of nasty comments and snickering behind your back, but it will be worth it when you're rich. This timid guy was adorable though. He's probably just here because his wife made him. Poor guy. The fellows that are up for it pay you $200 a pop though, and you can sell your body to your heart's content. So there's no limit to this. There are a few downsides though. After every customer you have to go through the hassle of putting your dress and wig back on before getting back to work. And if you wanted to become a millionaire, you'd have to sleep with 5,000 men.
You what?
Okay, that's not true. You can sleep with the same man multiple times, but still it's not very efficient. That's where our new boss, Mr. Grove, comes into the picture. While we can't ask him for a raise, he does like to sample the goods, so to speak. Red hair just so happens to drive him wild, and the idiot is even willing to pay us 1,000 gold for the privilege. Which means we'd only have to sleep with Grope 1,000 times to become a millionaire.
Well, don't just stand there. Go earn some money.
On subsequent sessions, he can barely manage to thrust before dozing off. Still, he pays just as well, so that's a bonus for us. And that is Infinite Gold in Fable, Method 1. All you need is a dress, a wig, and a passion for prostitution.
Is there any way to get infinite gold that doesn't involve selling my body?
Well, sure. If you want to take all the fun out of it, I guess. Method 2. Monopoly. If murder is more of your jam, you can also get rich by being a landowner. All you need is some starting capital to buy some houses. Let's do the rundown. Here's what you need to do. Start the game, live out your childhood, see it all burn to the ground, and join Hogwarts for Heroes. Graduate from hero school and kill a big wasp. Alternatively, don't even bother killing a big wasp and run straight to Oakville. Mind the werewolves though. Real estate doesn't come cheap, so doing the escort quest might be a good place to start. You can do side quests, start with a small investment, or become a prostitute. Gotta start somewhere, right? Oh right, you want to sell your body this time. Now all we need is some available real estate. A good place to start is your hometown of Oakville. But all these pesky people have moved in after Bandit Raid. Don't worry though, all we need to do is evict by means of mass genocide. So yeah, head back to your hometown and start killing random people. Chances are they own some property in town, which is now up for grabs. You can buy the whole town, rent it back to the bereaved, declare yourself mayor, collect the rent, and become sleeping rich. All you need is some cash up front, a bit of light genocide, and a monopoly built on murder. You can also take over the bordel and become a pimp to optimize your revenue stream. If you want, you could expand your real estate empire to different towns, or everywhere. You're a real sociopath. The skybox is delivered. Any questions?
Can get infinite money without fucking or killing anyone?
Really? One of those. Sure, if you want to be extra boring, we can keep the fucking entirely metaphorical. Method 3. Fraud. Alright. What I'm about to show you is highly illegal. It will also make Peter Molyneux cry if he found out I told you about this. Peter, if you're watching, I'm sincerely sorry. Please, avert your eyes. Forget everything I said up to this point. Here's what you need to do. Start the game, live out your childhood, see it all burn to the ground, and join Hogwarts for Heroes. Graduate from hero school and don't kill a big wasp. Instead, make a beeline for Bowerstone South. All you need is a single point in Guile. Yeah, that's it. Talk to this poor trader by the gate and take a look at his inventory. Can you guess which one of these items will completely destroy the economy of the game? Well, if you guessed good old American apple pie, you remembered the intro hook. In any case, we're going to need all of those apple pies. Because we didn't bother with the wasp, we need to sell some of our potions to get started. These potions could save our life, but trust me, it's a worthwhile investment. Now we can afford all of his pies, something special is going to happen. We can now sell back those apple pies for a profit. we can see we made over 1,000 gold in this transaction. Okay, so what happened here? Don't worry, it makes sense in a weird way. You see, the merchant values items partially based on his current stock. When he has apple pie for days, he's willing to be generous and sell them on the cheap. But when you buy all of his apple pies, he starts to panic. What if someone else wants apple pie? My next shipment is in 2 days. Suddenly, he's willing to pay top dollar for a piece of that pie. So we sell him the whole batch back, and the cycle starts anew. With a little profit made on the side, of course. After like 15 minutes, we can buy the best armor in the game. That's how broken apple pies are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the apple pie economy. And it's completely amoral. But from a strictly pragmatic viewpoint, it's the most profitable strategy in the game. We're pretty much handing apple pies back and forth and taxing the poor merchant for the privilege. The fun doesn't stop there though. We can optimize the shit out of this. You see, trading apple pies doesn't only net us gold, but also skill. By which I mean skill experience points, which we can use to increase our guile. So if you insist on doing as little quests as possible and still want to be a millionaire, here's what you do. You lazy fuck. Trade apple pies back and forth until you can bump up your guile to level 2. By this point, you'll have enough gold to upgrade your hustle. The merchant has more items we can exploit. There's apples, apple pie, and cider crates, or the holy trinity of apples as I call it, and last but not least, carrots and sacks of grain. The rest of his produce is non-profitable, but we're gonna buy out his stock anyway and take a quick optimization detour. The tavern owners in both Bowerstone and the Guild sell extra apple pies and cider crates. Buy those to maximize your profits. Now visit the shopkeeper at the Guild and sell him all of the produce we couldn't sell back at a profit. Also buy any apple pies he has lying around. Don't bother haggling with this guy, he's a bit more savvy than our friend in Bowerstone. Doing all this did take a bit of time and the merchant kinda fucked off for today. No worries though, we can sleep at the tavern for a few hundred gold or buy a house, whatever. Infinite money, remember? Our friend goes back to work in the morning and so do we. Now that we have neatly streamlined both of our inventories, trading back and forth becomes even more mindless, tedious, and most importantly, profitable. Yet, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But to get to the next level, we need to face the grind. Cue apple pie trading montage.
That's my master.
Busy are you?
No,
My master's thinking of the pie.
you've come to the right place.
Alright, we've got quite a bit of cash and enough points to unlock level 4 Guile, which is where things get really spicy, because now we can trade mana potions. Yes, visit the 4 merchants and buy all the mana potions you can find. At this point, we can even sell them to the guild merchant for a profit, but our best friend in Oakville will give us a better price, so he's still our man. I'm such a piece of shit, by the way, I can't even remember his name without looking it up. Our best friend in Oakville,
I'm pleased to serve you.
Derek, is willing to buy back his own potions at a 37 gold loss per potion, which means we just reached the next level of Cookie Clicker where we focus on potions. With a bit of patience, this could easily net you 1 million without ever progressing. But if you're greedy and completely insane, there are ways to get into Bowerstone North early. It just requires a lot of luck, patience, and a dash of madness. Pull it off though, and you made your way into the big leagues. Because with enough guile, you can start running this gambit with gifts. I'm talking diamonds, jewels, and wedding rings, which will net you insane profits. The only limit is your own sense of satisfaction or greed. There you go. Infinite money, and the only thing that got fucked was the economy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about ruining a 16-year-old game. I hope you enjoyed it. Post any questions or comments down below. Do you feel sick knowing how much profits you lost out on by eating all of those apple pies? Because I do. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. There's videos on the screen if you'd like to hear me talk some more. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of content by doing all of the YouTube things. Something about a bell, I think? I don't have sponsors or a Patreon. This was just a fun little side project. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday now. See you next time. Bye bye.